Let's be honest about something that nobody in this space wants to say out loud. Most psychology content you find today is carefully designed to make everyone feel special. To tell you that your introversion is a superpower, that your anxiety makes you deep, that your inability to communicate with different kinds of people is just a personality trait worth celebrating. That whatever you are right now, however comfortable, however stuck, however limited, is perfectly fine and you should love yourself exactly as you are. This video is not that. Real intelligence is not a participation trophy. And today, we are going to talk about what it actually looks like. Not the watered-down version designed to make everyone feel included, but the real cocktail of traits that genuinely brilliant people carry. Traits that are rare, traits that are demanding, and traits that, if you are honest with yourself, you will recognize immediately, either in yourself or in someone you have always quietly admired. Let's start at the foundation of everything: self-awareness. Truly intelligent people have an almost uncomfortable ability to see themselves clearly. Not the version they wish they were, not the version others tell them they are, but the real gap between their actual skills and what the world around them requires. And then, crucially, they get to work filling that gap. Without drama, without waiting for permission, without needing anyone to validate the process. This is where real intelligence begins. Not in how much you know, but in how clearly you see yourself and how ruthlessly you act on what you see. Here is something the internet will never tell you because it is not comfortable to hear. There are different types of intelligence, and not all of them deserve equal celebration. There are people with extraordinary ability in one narrow area who outside of that area are remarkably limited. They cannot read a room, they cannot navigate different social environments, they cannot adapt. And while their specific skill deserves respect, that alone does not make someone truly intelligent. Real intelligence is a cocktail. It requires intellectual sharpness, emotional depth, pattern recognition, cultural awareness, autodidactic ability, social fluency, discipline, humor, empathy, and boundaries. It is rare precisely because it demands so much from a person simultaneously. And discipline is non-negotiable. Truly intelligent people have control over themselves. They are not slaves to their impulses, their addictions, their moods, or their comfort zones. They know what needs to be done and they do it. Not because someone is watching, not because conditions are perfect, but because they have built an unshakable internal standard that does not negotiate with excuses. Intelligent people don't sit around cataloging how hard life is. They don't build their identity around their struggles or wear their difficulties like a badge of honor. They create purpose. They move. They show up with a natural pride that has nothing to do with arrogance and everything to do with self-respect. Life hits them, sometimes hard, and they absorb it, adapt, and keep moving forward. Not because they feel nothing, but because they refuse to let anything become bigger than their sense of direction. Let's talk about social intelligence, because this is where so much confusion exists today. Truly intelligent people are neither lonely hermits nor the loud center of attention. They move through different social environments with ease, not because every environment suits them naturally, but because they taught themselves how. They studied people, they traveled, they observed different cultures with genuine curiosity. They trained themselves to communicate effectively with all kinds of people, and they found it interesting rather than exhausting. They never refuse categorically what others offer, a food, a drink, a custom, because they understand that social intelligence means participating enough to honor the people around them. They dress appropriately for every context, not because they lack individuality, but because they understand that appearance communicates before words do. They check their posture, they train their voice, they practice in front of mirrors if necessary, because they know that confidence is a skill, not a gift. And here is perhaps the sharpest truth in this entire video. Intelligent people don't say everything they think. Only people with poor judgment do that. They know precisely when to speak, when to stay silent, when a well-placed joke dissolves tension better than any argument could. They never speak badly about others, not because they have no opinions, but because they understand that how you talk about people when they are absent says everything about who you are when no one is watching. They build wide networks, not for status, but because they understand that everything you give generously eventually returns from somewhere. They lead without manipulation. They help without keeping score. They command attention without demanding it. And they carry a natural charisma that has nothing to do with loudness and everything to do with presence. If you are young and telling yourself you prefer staying alone, be honest with yourself. You are probably in the wrong environment, surrounded by the wrong people, or simply undertrained in the skills that would make the world feel more welcoming. There is nothing heroic about an inability to connect. Everything can be trained. Social confidence, communication, cultural fluency, all of it responds to effort and exposure. Intelligence means recognizing exactly where something is not working, and then gathering every ounce of courage to jump into the stream of life and fix it. Not someday. Now. With whatever you have. From wherever you are. There are very few people who carry the full cocktail. And if you are truly intelligent, you already know who they are when you meet them. You feel it. And instead of feeling threatened or diminished, you feel something rarer, genuine admiration, and the quiet, determined desire to keep becoming more.